This is the Nitecore EDC23, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the quick start guide, the light itself, a C-type charging cable, a paracord lanyard, and the manual. The EDC23 is made of stainless steel coated in titanium. It's IP54 water resistant and has an impact rating of 2 meters and weighs about 100 grams or just over 3.5 ounces, and is powered by a built-in 1500 milliamp lithium ion battery and features an OLED display and 2 tactical tail switches. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test in the 1100 lumen high mode, the EDC23 reached a max thermal output of 127 degrees Fahrenheit or 52 degrees Celsius after about 3 minutes of use, and it ran for a total runtime of 2 hours and 51 minutes before the battery became completely depleted. Moving along to my recharge time test, the EDC23 took just 1 hour and 19 minutes to fully recharge from completely depleted. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes and general operation of the Nitecore EDC23. Alright guys, this is the EDC23 from Nitecore, and this is the EDC29 from Nitecore, and you can see guys, there's a big difference in size here. Like, that is a huge difference and a big difference in weight, and obviously there's a big difference in outputs too. They both have the nice robust clip, they both have a couple LEDs in the front, they have the tactical switches in the back, and then they have the OLED displays and the lockouts and everything. So they're basically the same exact light, except for one smaller than the other, has a smaller output and smaller capacity for the battery, and that's all she wrote for that. So enough comparing those back and forth. Let's go ahead right into the body of this light. So you have the C-type charging port here on the side. Here you go. So there's the input right there for the C-type, and then on the other side you have the full lockout, so that way you don't have to worry about bumping it. You know, when you turn this on, you have the full lockout, and you also have the semi-lockout. Now, how the semi-lockout works is that you turn the lockout on when you have it into the full mode here. So when you turn it on to 2500 lumens, you push that up at the same time, and now you're into semi-lockout. And what that means is that you've turned off the ability to select the lower lumen outputs, but you still have access to the tactical modes like the 2500 lumen turbo and the 2500 lumen strobe. So you have access to that still. And if you just want to get out of that, you turn it off, turn it back on. Now you're into full lockout once again. So very simple, very easy operation there. You do have a sensor for protection. So say that your light turns on in your backpack or in your pocket or something. I'm going to put it in the 1100 lumen mode right now. And once it's in the 1100 lumen mode, say it turns on in your backpack, it's going to downshift to the 200 lumen mode. See how that worked? So, and then once that's downshift, you can go like this, and it will turn right back on to the 1100 lumen mode. But the only problem is that when you go back, it's going to stay in the 1100 lumen turbo mode. So it could still cause a problem if you have it in your backpack, it turns on, it downshifts, and then you have to, you know what I mean? So like there could be an issue there, but it's most likely not going to happen. And obviously if you have to worry about the turbo modes don't stay on that long, to be honest with you, to cause a fire. They might or they might not, depending on the materials, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Momentary on for the turbo, just hold half press, full press for the strobe on the tactical switch here. And then over here on the opposite side, if you half press the power button here, it's going to bring you into that 15 lumen mode. And then if you full press, it's going to bring you into whatever the last lumen output was that you had this in. So say that I have this right now in the 200 lumen mode, right? And I turn it off, I turn it back on full press, 200 lumens again. But if I wanted to still use the momentary on 15 lumens, I can half press it and it will be in 15. So that's pretty easy. Full press for the whole entire 200 lumens, and then you go ahead and you can cycle through. And what I like about this is it does have right here, it tells you how many lumens and how much runtime you have left on that. So 15 lumens, we have 39 hours, 65 lumens, 11 hours, 200 lumens, 3 hours and 45 minutes, and then 1100 lumens, and that's going to give you an hour and a half runtime. Let's take it outside and see what it looks like in the dark, and we're going to compare it to the EDC29. So let's go. The Nitecore EDC23 has a max beam distance of 280 meters or 920 feet in the 2500 lumen turbo mode. It also has a max candela of 20,720 CD and utilizes two UHI 25 cool white LEDs coming in between 6000K and 6500K.
All right, guys, we are outside with the EDC23. I'm going to throw this into the 15 lumen low mode. This is the ultra low 15 lumen mode, 39-hour runtime for this mode, and this is 20 feet away from the railing here in front of us. Of course, I'm going to step it up now into the 65 lumen low mode. That's got a runtime of 11 hours, and that's what this looks like from 20 feet away from the railings there in front of us. I'm going to step it up one more time over to the 200 lumen medium mode. That's got a 3-hour and 45-minute run time. That is giving off plenty of light for you guys to see what you need to see. What I like about this is when we do switch modes, you can see that it switches over. Now we're into the 1100 lumen high mode, and that's got a 1.5 hour run time, and that's what it looks like. You can start to see out to the yard there. Nice and bright, perfect. This is like a perfectly small EDC flashlight with a crazy amount of throw, and it's attracting moths. That's how bright it is. Now I'm going to attempt to test the momentary on for the turbo mode. Guys, this is what it's going to look like. Ready? This is going to be the momentary on for the turbo mode, and what's going to happen, there's going to be a meter there when I turn this on that lights up, and it's going to tell me how much runtime I have left. So this is what it's going to look like. Here we go. This is 2500 lumens. Guys, this is amazing. This is such a small light, and it's such a bright light, but unfortunately that meter kicks on, as you guys can see now, and now I have to wait for it to power back up, and once it's done, you'll be able to run it again at that 2500 lumen output, and that's what it looks like. And it's going to go back down in just a second. It's 100 feet into that tree line out there and drops down into the 1100 lumen mode, which isn't too bad. Keeps the light protected, so that way you don't overheat the light, you don't mess with the circuits. And of course, the longer you run the light, the longer it's going to take for it to recuperate each time, unfortunately. But it is just part of those side effects there. Now we're in the 1100 lumen mode, and that's what that looks like, guys. 1100 lumens. If I want to throw it into that 2500 lumen mode, let's punch out there. Ready? Punch. Boom. 2500 lumen mode right there. And of course, it goes back down because that's what the light's designed. Look how small this light is, though. It's such a small, tiny light. And of course, you also have the strobe, and that's 2500 lumens as well. All right, guys, now I have the EDC23 on the right and the EDC29 on the left. And I'm going to do a side-by-side beam shot comparison with the 3000 lumen mode on the EDC29 and the 2500 lumen mode on the EDC23. This is what it's going to look like side by side. Let's go at it now. Oops. There we go. That's what that looks like, guys. Pretty darn close, pretty darn comparable. And yeah, they both kind of died down right around the same time, as you guys can see. It's fully charged again. Let's do it one more time. Not bad. So if you want just as much power for 2500 lumens, you're looking at 500 lumens less than the EDC29. The size difference too, obviously you guys can see it's a little bit of a size difference between the two. But yeah, definitely liking the EDC23. This is pretty badass. And of course, let's compare the 6500 lumens just for, you know, being ridiculous. So this is 6500 lumens versus the 2500 lumens. Wow, actually kind of overpowers it a little bit, the 2500 from the EDC23. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty cool. I love this thing.
Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The size of the EDC-23 for a flat-run EDC light was perfect, and the OLED display was very informative as to which mode you were in and how much time you had left to use it. Both of the tail switches felt good, and the user interface was well thought out and intuitive, and the run times for the lower lumen outputs were excellent. Now for my cons. Some people might complain that the 2500 lumen ATR shift down would be a problem, but if you use it reasonably and you're not spamming the turbo, then that factor shouldn't be an issue for you. So if you're looking for a tactical style 1100 lumen EDC flashlight that's reliable and capable of delivering 2500 lumens if needed, then the EDC-23 is a great option for you. The EDC-23 retails for $74.95 on the Nitecore website and even on Amazon, and it comes with a 2-year free from defects warranty from Nitecore. I will leave a link down in the description. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, stay prepared.
Hey there, thank you for watching. You can pat this cat.